What's going on, folks? Welcome back. Today we have a Occupy event. It's a 99% solidarity rally, and then after the rally we're going to have a general assembly over at St. Mary's University. However, like always, I'm a bad little boy and I'm not allowed in the park because I'm a criminal apparently. So again, I'm going to have to try to film this from the sidewalk or possibly get somebody to go down and film some of it for me. But you know, for the most part it's just going to be me up here trying to catch what I can, and then we'll go to the General Assembly afterwards. So everybody's down there having chit chat, talking and everything like that. I, however, was over there, way down there, speaking to the mayor of Halifax. For those of you who remember, I did a short little interview with Peter Kelly, our mayor of Halifax, when we were down here at Grand Parade. So I wanted to get a little bit of follow-up with him in regards to how the police acted and blah 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 in regards to the sale of the St. Patrick's School. So if you guys want to see that interview, I'm going to put it up as a separate video. Let's put it right here. Right here. Click right here. And then you guys can go see that. And I'm going to get back to the rally now, well, as much as I can be from the sidewalk. And we have a lady here who's doing a little book in regards to the Occupy movement, and we are the 99%. So she's taking pictures. I did mine earlier, taking pictures of people, and then we're all going to write a little synopsis and go into the book. We have some journalism students doing some interviews of Occupy folk. And we got folks having a good time. Okay, so we're all at the General Assembly now after the rally, and there's a lot of people. A lot of people actually showed up. Participation is getting back up. Yay! Oh.
Reform an agenda. We could use these.
I'd like Occupy to be a movement that was democratic, but also not democratic. Because sometimes, there's some people that are more affected by a particular action that are part of the movement, who may be in less physical numbers at the present movement. And so if you take an action that affects that group, it would be important to allow that group to have a veto if they choose to.
What, to me, attracted me to Occupy was just that it was something different than anything else that was going on. So rather than sort of getting involved with charities or political parties or anything like that as they exist, it was doing things on a grassroots, person-to-person level, and sort of working outside of the system and taking power for the people. And yeah.
Occupy is a couple things, I think. Occupy worldwide is a movement, a really broad movement. And it's become a name. It's become a name that can lend power to things. You can plan events like a fracking rally on their own, and you can plan events and add the Occupy name to it these days. And that adds a little more power. This is something that's resonated with huge numbers of thousands of people all over the Western world, at least. And it's the most powerful thing I've seen happen in my lifetime. It's been interesting to try to find context now that we're not actually occupying, which is why I think there's been some confusion over the past couple months. It's still a very powerful thing that I think that I'm happy to still be part of. It feels there's a lot of good energy and powerful energy in the people in this room right here, let alone people who couldn't be here today. But I think it's both exciting and challenging and confusing trying to figure out what this means and what we're going to do as we move forward when we call ourselves Occupy and we're not occupying.
Well, when I joined Occupy, I was really excited to learn so many different things about the world that a lot of people don't know and are ignorant to. And we're a movement who opens people's eyes to the problems that are happening around us that need to be shown.
Occupy is, to me, a group of people, such as us, gets together, we discuss certain issues that's going on within our community or say province, and make people aware of these issues and offering solutions, showing, proving that these solutions will work, which we did when we were occupying. You know, we can house people, we can feed people, we can work together as a large group and make decisions as a large group, not just 15 or 20 people making decisions for us. I mean, we're working through it, and spring is coming fast, and we're going to be able to do it again.
I think that, I think when Occupy started, it was more like, of like a people's movement, but I think lately we've just kind of been an activist group trying to like draw attention to causes and kind of petition the government. And I think that has a lot to do with like the lack of participation. You can't be a people's movement with not a lot of people involved and like not a lot of diversity. So like I'd really like to see Occupy growing its numbers again, having more people utilizing the General Assembly in like other ways than just deciding how to run like an activist group, but in of like revolutionary way of like participatory democracy and like people actually like, I don't know, deciding stuff. I don't know, a couple people have mentioned the Occupy camp, which I really enjoyed, but I also kind of enjoy not worrying about a lot of stuff that I had to worry about there at the moment.
I can only speak on what Occupy is for me personally. When I saw that Wall Street was kicking up and getting going down in the States, I got really excited because for the first time in my life I felt I was actually going to have a chance to speak my mind. I was actually going to have a chance to go and talk to other people who have been having certain situations or feel the same way or see the problems in our society and actually have a conversation with somebody. Instead of going around my life trying to discuss these things with people and being called a complainer, or I'm a moron, or I'm not appreciative of the world that's been given to me, and this and that, left and right and back and forth. I've been screwed around my whole friggin' life.
I can relate to that.
And you know, this was my first and I believe my only opportunity in my lifetime to actually stand up for what I believe in and not get belittled and degraded because of it.
To me, Occupy is a method of change and going back to what we were promised, what democracy was looking like, or was supposed to look like. Occupy is, as a movement, is a way to show people and show the, you know, the 1% or whatever you want to call them, that this is what the people want. We don't want your money, we don't want your power, we just want the opportunity to be heard and to be heard properly. Occupy Nova Scotia to me is a way of saying that and showing that on a provincial and a local level, not just a global scale, and to show the people within Nova Scotia that the problems that the people in the United States face on a local or national level occur even here, down home, because a lot of people say, why occupy in Canada? What's the point? We don't have that many problems. And when we show them how Canada literally mirrors the United States, then they start realizing there is a problem.
I think
Kenzie, now's your time to speak up. What's Occupy? Only if you want. No?
Too much pressure.
Okay. You got anything to say? No.
I guess it's me then. So I think Occupy is sort of, what one Occupy Nova Scotia is, and what it could be, are two very different things. We have this great sort of metaphor of how we help each other in our community. I think that could continue in many different ways. I'd love to see us, for one thing, putting more energy, more time into planning sort of a big event further in the future, so we can get things more set up to have some of the festival, the theater environment back. But as we're focusing more energy other places, I'd love to see us be sort of charitable in our communities. I think there's a huge potential here for things like food drives or clothing drives, to sort of something that has this radical feeling to it, also contributing in more more typical ways, seeing how many people we can mobilize, how many people can we get to a blood drive, how many people can we get out to make donations to the community or do some work in the community. I think Occupy is all about community. It's about making it yours again. And I think there's enormous potential here to focus on maybe various campaigns, how to work within our communities and how we can serve them best.
Hearing a lot of people talk about it, the greatest thing that's coming from it so far is that people have been empowered to participate, and people that have never realized some of the things that are going on in the world, or that we can get involved and change what's going on in the world, and that we can gather in a room randomly and discuss something and actually think about things collectively, and not just happen to be at a friend's house and bring something up and James said, oh, you're just, why are you so upset about this? Why is it a big deal? People, because not everyone understands, but if you build something and you have people behind it, then people realize, oh, maybe there's some validity to what these people are doing. Maybe these issues are important, and maybe I should wonder why these issues are important. And I think that's what Occupy has always been and will continue to be, just in different forms. It's just a way to empower people, and that's what I'd like us to focus on as a group.
I see a lot of frustration with how the government doesn't seem to reflect what we want to be done, how they're in the pockets of corporations, how we feel powerless, and with that powerlessness, I think there's been a lot of apathy in our days, and particularly in my generation, and people are getting riled up again in Occupy around the world. People are unhappy with how things are going, and they're not just protesting about them, they're organizing to work together to deal with these things. So I think that Occupy is a meeting place where we lobby government, but also if we don't see ourselves being helped, then figure out how to do things together.
And going forward, to me, is kind of building community and working with communities like the North End, for instance, on the St. Pat's issue. These are our opportunities to get out there and truly rebuild communities again, but doing it in a manner that is being allies and asking the questions of how can we help you, not going in with the attitude of we can do this for you. I think that's the important thing, is true solidarity moving forward.
I don't want Occupy to become an activist group. I don't want Occupy to become a political party. I think that Occupy is a powerful force, and I see it as basically the best chance we've got to circumvent those power structures that exist now, those hierarchical power structures. Representative democracy will never get you what you want. You vote your power away, You have to be the ones to make these decisions. And this is, if it remains to be horizontally organized, if it remains inclusive, if it remains a direct democracy, and embraces the idea of direct action, and I'm not just talking go out and break things, I'm talking you have to not presume that somebody else is going to fix these things for you, and there's no good at complaining to Peter Kelly, and there's no good at complaining about the government or about these corporations. If you want something to happen, you're going to have to get your hands dirty and go out there and make it happen. And I think that Occupy is our best chance to come together as a group to actually just go do it and not expect anyone else to do it for you.
Anyway, meeting's over. We tabled a lot of discussions because there was a lot of discussion on those topics and we simply ran out of time. So Facebook, admin status, any of the hot topic stuff we'll be covering over the next couple GAs. Remember, for those of you who didn't click on it earlier, click right here. You see that right there? That's the Peter Kelly interview, the mayor of Halifax, the one who fucked us all over and the reason I went to jail. Go click that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, I won't see you guys tomorrow. I'm not making the vlogs anymore. What the fuck am I talking about? I'll see you guys next time. Stay strong, stay wise. Peace.